April 2023 draws to a close, and with it, near 10 years of insanity. The beginning of a new age of insanity is now upon us. The second homelessness arc has reached its conclusion, and the quality of life has dropped considerably. Even so, I have been squeaking out hours onto ApexX amidst all this time. Although the stress of the move and everything related certainly got to me within the last few months. In this production, I will summarize some of the work that has been built within ApexX since the first voyage. Much of the work that has been done is not of the particularly flashy variety. A lot of internals have been addressed throughout the last few months. Things like how attacks are being handled for both the player character and for mobs. The player character herself has been adjusted rather substantially, becoming more responsive, more resilient to bugs and other oddities, and much faster to operate. Dash cancelling has been returned to the skill set, as well as a movement cancelling system that allows you to escape longer animations when you want to move, so long as you are no longer within active frames. Also, the moveset has been expanded substantially, with more work done on the heavy combos, and several experimental mix-ups have also been placed in. Additionally, existing mix-ups are more readily available, and several balancing passes have been made on numbers, as well as animation speeds. Additionally, Dash itself has been updated rather substantially, making it more resilient to bugs and other oddities that had occurred within the first voyage. Also, air dashing has been added as well, though it stands to change a great deal as I'm not really happy with its root motion. The stagger system for mobs has changed dramatically even since the February demo. We went from a system which permitted infinite stun locking to a system which immediately restored all stagger health after their animations played, to a system that more or less resembles DMC, with various stages of stagger based on how successful you are when you have them staggered to begin with. Ergo, the more you're able to commit to enemies, and the better your engagement, the more reward you will get from it. Even so, enemies are more capable of responding and recovering than they were within the first voyage. Fixing a variety of bugs and general advancements allowed me to make the enemies more aggressive, removing internal cooldowns and making them restricted almost exclusively by animations alone. This allows me to ramp up enemy aggression to make up for the player's own kit being faster and more responsive. Although many enemies within the first voyage have not changed a great deal within the April demo, there are some major advancements on them, such as, for example, better behavior for units like the Void Hounds, as well as units like the Templar and the Gundovar Soldier. It's just all around general advancement from spending time on the project. The ultimate goal is to make the AI more and more capable and more resilient, and improve our existing systems as we move forward. Indeed, a lot of the work within the last few months has been about future-proofing certain systems, or preparing those systems for future expansion in the frameworks. For example, the AI uses now a master controller that is being built to support the eventual implementation of factions and multi-unit combat. Also, a lot of the AI's functionality is being ported to unit-agnostic functionality, breaking away their enslavement to the player-related classes, so they should be able to support factions fairly seamlessly once I figure out how to actually do that stuff. Many smaller things have also been started on. Of course, experimenting with the Dragon IK system. Although that's a massive subject to get into, it's still a very important one. Eventually we will bring it to the player character to help improve attacking on angles. A lot of small polishing changes and general improvements to the moveset have made it in as well. For example, the travel form is more closely integrated with the general moveset. Double jump attacks and dashing will automatically break it, and although extremely finicky, the mantling system will attempt to fire out of travel form. But it doesn't seem to work very well at the moment, so it's going to need a lot more work. I am going to attempt to make a second voyage at the end of the year. If I'm going to do this, I have a massive amount of work to do. The last 4 months are complete write-offs. Most of the labor here was extremely staggered. It's going to be a long road, and the new environment isn't particularly any better than the last one. It's a trade-off. You gain things, you lose things. Like freedom, privacy, sanity. Dealing with the fallout of the death of the cats and everything else has proven to be something I just can't handle. But I'm going to have to handle it if I'm going to see this project reach any respectable stage of completion in any respectable amount of time. The race is on against those biological clocks. I said most of the things I have worked on are not particularly flashy, but there has been more advancements than just internals and mechanics. I now reveal to you the prototype conceptual for Laviana, the second Tier 1 map to be introduced into the ApexX concept. Laviana is extremely early in. Right now, it amounts to little more than a demo map from the author that has been patched up ever so slightly. Even so, that patching represents core philosophies that are being explored. It opens a great deal of ideas and concepts that will help push ApexX forward. I converted the project to nanite, I did extensive work on the materials. Along the way, I polished up things like collision channels, physics, and hit detection. Laviana is just a prototype, but an important one. Laviana helps us demonstrate what exploration with an ApexX may entail. Just watch out for the swamp puppies. Their beefiness and low profile makes them rather difficult to control. Also, their attacks are only halfway configured. Modern games are two-dimensional corridors. ApexX expects you to actually think in 3 dimensions. Let's try an alternative path. But always remember, this is ApexX, not Dark Souls. Enemies can navigate ledges. And do watch your step. There is no such thing as a platforming death in ApexX. One wrong jump or dash can send you into the loving embrace of swamp puppies, or certain death. Laviana will be host to a great deal more experimentation and development in the days to come. But for now, this is all I will speak of it. During this most terrible transitionary period, I lost a great many things, and I lost the last tiny shreds of hope that one day, I would have a place that I belonged, that I would have a home. But I know now, the only place I will ever know any peace will be in the realm of the dead. And until I'm dead, I will continue to see their little faces, and I will continue to dream. And so I fight on.